Hey guys, it's just me, Lance, again. So here's my reaction video to Friendly Jordan's producer being arrested. So I have to do this video because my followers have been asking me, how come I haven't mentioned it? So every Tom, Dick and Harry is doing a YouTube video. And then, my followers asking why haven't I said anything? So I have to do this video for my followers, giving my opinion on the matter. And I realised by making this video, I'll make enemies with all the followers of Friendly Jords and all the other influencers online. But I don't really give a shit. I love trolls. But and don't get me wrong, I'll just say from the outset, I'm a huge fan of Friendly Jords. He makes great videos. He's extremely fucking smart. He's 100 million times smarter than Lucky Lance. But sorry, Friendly Jords, on this occasion, you completely got it wrong. Okay, so bear with me while I fumble my way through another shitty reaction video. I don't even know how to use a computer. I've got to do it off a phone. I'll never be like Friendly Jords. He's really talented. Lucky Lance, not so much. But anyway, bear with me. I'll just play the first bit and then I'll give you my reaction.
On the 4th of June, plainclothes armed officers stormed into my employee's home, violently assaulted his family, nearly killed his dog, pinned him to the ground, handcuffed him, and dragged him into an unmarked police car. If you're wondering if I've accidentally mixed up a story from Pinochet's...
I mean, that is sensationalism if I've ever seen it. I mean, Friendly Jords, what the fuck was that? Sorry, man. I mean, you probably won't even see this anyway. But you're starting to sound like Tracy Grimshaw off Current Affair, completely catastrophising the situation. Plainclothes, armed police officers violently arrest. All police officers are armed. So why did you have to say armed? Even PSOs at the train station are armed. So all police are armed. So he threw in that line, plainclothes, armed police officers. So what do what's the big deal? And then he's like, from the anti-terror cops or whatever, anti-terrorism police. Yeah, that's true. They could have just sent normal constables or whatever. But what's the difference? Did you see those cops? Oh, yes, they're from a terror squad or whatever, plainclothes armed officers. Same as all officers. But anyway, how patient were those cops? So that's the main thing here. Those cops were really patient, friendly, polite, right? They had a lot of patience. You see them going back and forth with him at the start, right? They were extremely patient with him. Trust me, I've been arrested more times than all you people watching this video put together. And that's not what I would call a violent arrest, right? Was he in hospital after? Did he die? That's not what you'd consider a violent arrest. But yes, it did get a little bit violent towards the end. And this is the main thing. So if you only listen to one thing from this video, from this rambling shit video, this is the main point. This is what none of the other influencers are mentioning. None of this would have been happening. I wouldn't be making this video and gaining millions of, hundreds of haters and negative comments if it weren't for this kid's actions, right? He was under arrest. These cops are real patient. He tried to pass the phone to his mother. The cop had told him, no, you can't do that. He still tried to do it. He's under arrest. That kid's under arrest, right? So the phone is evidence, right? That's his phone. He's under arrest for allegations of stalking. So, of course, they'd be wanting to look at his phone for further evidence. So while he's under arrest, the phone, right, is in police custody. So that's evidence. So that's their phone, basically, right, if you catch my drift. So he's trying to get rid of evidence, right? He's trying to give the evidence to his mother when they've told him, no, you can't do that. Still, they were being patient. But then he tried to lean over the cop, right, and give it to his mum. And that's when the cop's like, well, that's it. That's the last fucking straw. And he wore that cop's patience thin, right? So it's his own fault. And then I'll tell you another little trick. And the way a cop thinks as well, don't ask me how I know how, but I know how cops think. The fact that he's so insistent on getting the phone, right, to his mother, so he's so persistent in getting the phone to his mother, the way a cop thinks is, right, he really doesn't want us to have his phone. Now we really want that fucking phone. Because now they're thinking there's obviously evidence on it if he's so insistent on getting the phone to his mother, right, trying to hide the evidence. So now they really want the fucking phone. Now, then they go to the mum, and whether they pushed her or tripped, I don't know, I didn't see it. But that was unfortunate. She sounded like a really nice lady, probably never been, guarantee she's never been arrested before, so that was traumatic for her. It's always traumatic for straight edge when they get arrested. I'm aware of that. What could the cops have done? I mean, the cop, yeah, he could have shown some even more patience. Yes, fair enough. He could have said, sorry, ma'am, he's under arrest, so that's actually, that phone's in our possession. That's police evidence. You'd have to give that back to us, please, or we'd have to arrest you as well. And then, judging by the sound of his mum, she would have said, yep, and she would have just passed it back to him. So, yeah, the cops could have done that. They could have shown even more patience, but they didn't, okay? cops are individuals. You got good cops, you got bad cops, you got patient cops, you got not so patient cops. These cops were fucking patient. The most patient cops I've ever seen. You know, usually the cops don't sit there arguing with you. They just handcuff you and take you away. They don't really give a shit. And so, in my experience, don't ask me how I know how. You all know anyway. So, nothing to see here in regards to that. So, none of this would have happened if the kid didn't try to pass police evidence to his mother, trying to get rid of evidence. Okay? So, that's what's happening here. And that's what Friendly George isn't telling you. That's what all the other influencers aren't telling you. None of this would have happened if he'd followed the instructions of the police officers while he was under arrest. And he's saying violent arrest. That's not a violent arrest. He made it get a little bit violent, but that's not a violent arrest. Did he go to hospital? Then that's not a violent arrest. Sometimes people die getting arrested, right? This kid didn't even get hurt. Now, in regards to the complaint, he had a statement made against him for stalking, right? Now, I saw the video. You know, I don't want to preempt any court matters, but it doesn't seem like stalking. Actually, I was just arrested fucking 3 weeks ago for an allegation of stalking. Cops came out. I remember I went to the front door, went like, I opened the door, I see the cops. I'm going to get arrested all the time. That's how shit my comedy is, Friendly George. I've got IVO applications coming out my fucking ass. And I get arrested all the time. That's how shit my videos are. They get me in trouble with the police. But anyway, so police, sometimes they'll call you. True. These cops actually could have arrested him by appointment. So there's a thing called arresting someone by appointment. It's a fucking young kid. He's not going to abscond. He's not going to go on the run. So the cops could have just called him and said, can you come to the police station? We need to speak to you. And that kid would have went straight there. I'm sure of it. So yeah, they could have done that. But they didn't, right? They got discretion. They wanted to come. So they came. But they were still very polite, courteous and patient. Anyway, so I just got arrested recently for a stalking allegation. I remember I opened the front door, it was cops, and I just went like that. First thing I do when I see the cops. There you go, boys. They started laughing. They said, no. There's no need for that. We just want to talk to you. Anyway, no, that was for a breach of IVO, that one. They come to the house for the breach of IVO interviews. What was that one? No, that one I went by appointment. The stalking allegation. That one I did go up by appointment. Because I heard about it before they got to me, and I rang them and said, I'm coming. So I went down there. And spoke to him. It was all happy days. I didn't get charged. It turns out it was a false allegation. So unfortunately, there is a thing called false allegations. And look, in this case, sorry, I know I'm rambling. In this case, this stalking complaint, I think it might be I don't want to preempt it, but I think it might be a false allegation because we all saw the video. I can't imagine they can prove the stalking in court for that little incident where he fairly politely went up to the minister trying to give him a piece of paper. So he'll probably beat that in court. But that's where you have your legal battles. You fight your legal battles in a courtroom, right? Not on the footpath with the cops that are sent there to arrest you. Right? They're just fucking the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, as they say. So, anyway, that's my take on it. But let's, what do you call it? Let's watch a bit more of the video and see what else I can come up with on my shitty reaction video with Lucky Lance.
Chile with a standard arrest in Australia. I did not. That's what his father thought, who stated at the moment of this incident, understandably panicked.
You can't do this in Australia.
You can't do this in Australia. Why would you even play that, Friendly George? Yes, you can. In Australia, when somebody makes a statement to police of stalking, then yes, the police can then follow that up, go to that person's house and arrest them to question them on the allegations that are put before them. Can't do this in Australia. Yes, you can arrest somebody in Australia. Once again, I mean, those cops, that's not a violent arrest. Those cops are really patient. You saw how fucking well-spoken that cop was? Seemed like a really, really fucking nice cop. You should fucking meet the armed rob squad and vote in a task force. They don't speak nice like that. And you go to the police station via a hospital. So that's not a violent arrest. But this guy, you can't do this in Australia. What, you can't arrest someone who's had an allegation of stalking made against them? Yes, you can. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Sorry? You can't just take someone in Australia out of their house.
He's right. You absolutely cannot. And yet they did.
So, Friendly George, come on, man. You're smarter than me. You must know that that's stupid. You know, it's a stupid thing to say, Friendly George. You're a fucking really smart guy. So the old man said, you can't do this in Australia. Yes, you can. And Friendly George's like, he's right, you can't. Friendly George, yes, they can. They can, and they did, right? They had an allegation of stalking made against this young kid, and they went there to arrest him. And that's what they've done. So yes, they can do that, and they have to do that, right? So imagine if you made a complaint to the police, they would do the same thing. Friendly George, I'm really disappointed in you, Friendly George. I think I said at the start of this video how smart he is. I might have to bloody edit that out. I don't know. Let's keep watching, see what happens.
Unsettling arrogance, seeing as several cameras were filming what they could of the event. Imagine what they'd do if they weren't. Here's the footage.
No, I'm allowed to film it. No, I'm allowed to film it. No, you don't. Because you're under arrest.
I'm allowed to film it.
Can you film this, Mum?
You can film it.
That's okay. But you're not allowed to. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to. No, Mum, you can take my. No, you can take my phone. No, take my phone. Take my phone.
See how fucking friendly that cop was? Friendly George, you're trying to say that this was some sinister, violent, aggressive arrest? How fucking friendly was that cop? How many times did he tell him, no, you can't. No, she can film, that's fine. She can film, but you can't. You're under arrest. And he's like, blah, blah. Still arguing. Don't argue with police. Do not argue with police. Just let them do their job. Because that kid argued with the police, that's what, then it ended up that little fucking scuffle there. Right? Do not argue with the police. Do not interfere with the police when they're trying to arrest you. Right? They hadn't even handcuffed him. That's how patient they were. Fucking ridiculous. This is so stupid.
What the fuck? They're giving away evidence and trying to run away with it. Yeah?
Evidence, see? I was right.
Run off with evidence. Okay? Look at him doing this. You're out with...
Oh, look, I'll just leave it at that. So, police, looks like the police are very lucky Lance. So he was trying to get rid of evidence. That's police evidence, just like I said at the start of this video, right? He was told not to. He was warned by very patient, very cool, calm and collected police officers. He didn't listen. He went to pass the phone to his mother. So he's got no one to blame but himself. So sorry, Friendly George. You're completely wrong on this occasion. Please leave all your negative comments in the comment section and then I'll read them. All right. See you guys.